Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to teach you how to create the easiest Prismacolor sky. Now you only need 5 pencils, so meet me on the other side and we're going to get started. Sometimes when I have a page that is very detailed in the foreground, I don't trust myself enough with a watercolor brush or a paintbrush to get all these details in the background with neo colors or ink tints without making a complete mess of it. So I came up with this 4-colored pencil sky background for this page, and most recently applied it again here on this page, which is from Mythographic Fairy Wonderland. And you can see I used it here as well. This is Hanna Karlzon Seasons. So what I'm going to do is take another Hanna Karlzon page like this that's similar in the amount of detail, and we're going to recreate this sky together. So let's get started. I've selected this page from Magical Dawn by Hanna Karlzon. So you can see again, this is a very intricate foreground. I don't want to say busy because busy implies that it's not beautiful, and this is beautiful. Very beautiful foreground with a lot of details going on, but there's a lot of tiny spaces that would be the background. So in this case, these are butterflies on flowers. I'm going to pretend this is sky in the background, and we're going to use these 4 pencils. So I've got powder blue, light aqua, electric blue, and this is non-photo blue. I don't know what non-photo means with the blue, but there you go. So if I had to put these in order of light to dark, it would actually look like this. This electric blue, while the lead looks darker, it's actually a little lighter than the saturated non-photo blue. So what I'm going to do here, I'm going to start out with a little light aqua. And I'm going to just start coloring in the light aqua. Now the key here is to randomize the colors as we go along. And there's nothing more difficult than on purpose trying to randomize something, right? So what we're going to do, and I'm just being kind of gentle here. So just kind of coloring this in, and think about it as your sky colors going across behind these elements. So you don't want to just do light blue or like aqua here, powder blue here in a different color. So think of it as a continuous color stream in a way across your page. So now what I will do there, I will take the non-photo, that's powder blue. Take the powder blue, and the powder blue, once we color that in, actually looks like clouds in the background, which becomes really pretty. So we're going to overlap a little bit. And then I'll start saturating these colors a little bit more as we go. What you don't want to do is stripe the colors. So that's kind of the hard part where I was saying you want to randomize it a little bit. So this is now the electric blue. So it gets a little tricky. But what you're going to do essentially is just layer these 4 colors randomly all over the page. And I know you're thinking, what? How do I don't know how to do that. So we're just going to do it together, a little bit at a time. So I'm just laying down kind of a first layer of color. And maybe this electric blue will go up over here. Okay. Now I'm going to take the non-photo blue, which is a little darker, and bring it in here. You can see how that's darker than the electric blue. Okay. So what I'm going to do now, just sort of randomize it up because I did start striping it. Even though I said, hey, don't stripe it. I did. Okay, so we're just going to kind of keep coloring and layering on the color. All right, now we're going to take this powder blue and I'm going to press down to make that a little darker. And now I'm going to bring it over this light aqua. here. And I'm also going to overlap with the colors around it here. So what you will end up with will be 4 different blues all blended together. Now, if you feel like you've saturated too much, you can use a white pencil. So let me get my wet pencil. I'll be right back. We're adding the 5th Prismacolor, which will be white. So I can take the white to blend this, and that lightens it up, lightens up the saturation a little bit. And it really, this is one of my favorite colors to blend with when it comes to blending my Prismacolors. I usually try to blend with a lighter color instead of using other blending tools. I like to blend with my pencils. So white here is the perfect choice for that. So just going over all of this with white. Okay, and then we'll come back up here with the electric blue. I hope my hand's not getting in the way. My apologies. And it's going to look kind of weird until you've done enough that you can kind of look at the page and go, oh, yeah, that looks pretty cool. I get it now. So be patient with the process. It's definitely a process that builds as you go. Okay, so now I'm going to take, and this is the, I get these mixed up, non-photo blue here. I'm going to take the white again, just kind of blend it all together. I realized as I did my mythographic page that the color seemed a lot more saturated than when I did my page from Summer Nights, and I think that's the key, is that I probably went a lot more light-handed on that sky than I did in the mythographic book. So here, that's why I'm kind of leaning on the white to help me keep it light and blended and smooth in my transitions from one color to the next. Okay. All right, so that said, I'm going to, let me see if I can zoom in for y'all, just a second. So let's keep going. So now we've got, I think that's the electric blue. So we'll keep going with the little electric blue over here. Up in between, not gonna worry about that. The stamen of the flowers. I say that, but now my OCD won't let me let that go. Okay. This, by the way, is an electric Ohuhu eraser. These are out of stock, but I will leave a link to another comparable eraser. This is such a staple in my coloring supply collection. I can't live without it. Now I'm going to start with the Aqua again. And I'm just sort of gently blending these colors, overlapping them a little bit. Bring some more non-photo blue in there. Okay, now let me take the white. Now I know if you look at a normal sky, especially in the daytime that's blue, you're not going to have blue to turquoise like that. Maybe that's more water than sky, but I like to be imaginative and try to make things look more interesting. So here I'm just darkening that up. I think that little lighter blue spot looked a little goofy. I know you're thinking, how do I know when to know that my stuff is looking goofy? Only you will know that. I don't know how to define goofy. I'm sorry. So I'm going to pretend this little cloud element continues behind the flower and the butterfly over here. Maybe we'll go into a non-photo blue. Apologize if I keep mixing up the names of those two. They're really similar in color. Pretty close for sure. Okay, take my powder blue, and you could use sky blue light, cloud blue, any, really, I mean, play with the colors. You can choose any 4-color combo that you'd like. You could do pinks, you could do oranges, violets, but this kind of background will work for anything. You just have to find 4 colors that are similar and then just layer them and mix them up and blend them together. That could be fun for Halloween. You could have a really moody, eerie sky going on. Okay. So you can see how now that looks like a cloud going behind there. So what I'll do now is take this blue, this is the electric blue, coming over, and then I'm going to continue up and probably finish this little section with the light aqua, which, as y'all know, is my favorite Prismacolor color in the entire set. Okay, there we go. I'm going to go sort of light there. Blend these two here a little bit better. Okay, we're going to come back with white over all of that to blend it. And y'all, this is so pretty, and what I like about it is it can be such a neutral background for whatever you want to color, however you want to color it. So you saw on the Seasons book, I had bright reds and greens, super vibrant, bright colors. And yet on the mythographic page, it worked just fine with using muted tones as well. So it's really pretty forgiving as far as what colors you want to match and color along with this background. Okay, we're going to keep going up. So maybe we'll color another cloud element, sort of cloudy right up here. I'll carry some of the light aqua right there. So you can see, as I was saying, the trick is to make it look random on purpose, which is really difficult because we want to create patterns. Patterns are easy. Our brains understand patterns. Our brains don't always understand chaos unless you look at the rest of my desk, which is chaos. And in that case, I would argue that there's a method to my chaos. So let me know if you're with me on that one. All right, that's kind of being a little weird there. All right. So again, you won't be able to replicate my order exactly, right? Because there I just said order and there's no order. I'm just randomizing it. But you can see just layering the colors over each other. And on the clouds, you might want to use like little circle motions to make it look a little fluffier. So it really looks like a cloud. Going kind of fast. I know when I did the background for the Seasons page, I was coloring a lot slower. And it can be really zen just to take these 4 colors and layer them and play with them. So now we'll take the white. We'll come back in. That's page it's going over the edge there. Okay. So just blending back over those. So now I'm going to move over this way and just keep going. And now maybe we bring a cloud. We'll do it like here to here to here. Okay, so I'm just sort of blocking in. Here's where my cloud is going to go. It's going to go kind of around this way. And then I might come back in with some electric blue behind that. And then I'll block in a little of the Aqua. And it's so hard for me not to just put Aqua everywhere. This is, again, my favorite color. Absolutely love it. It's so beautiful. All right, so what I'm going to do now is take the powder blue and we'll go back over our little cloud that we just created here. You know, sometimes when I see these little lines, I think they are pencil shavings, and I always want to stop, and then I realize, oh, that's the illustration line. Never mind. Okay, so there's that part of the cloud. So down here, got a little edge I missed. Okay, so now we come back with the white and blend this out. You could also, after you use the white and you blend it as much as you want to, you could always come back with something like Gamsol or maybe an alcohol blender to really blend it a little bit better if you wanted to do that. I don't know if alcohol blenders would work on these pencils or not, but there are different ways you could continue to blend it out. I think Gamsol is probably your best bet. Okay. All right, just bringing that electric blue there. Okay, now we're going to take our white, come back over all of this. Let me hit that little spot there. Okay. And just blend it. And I think that blending is where the magic happens with the sky page. It's really makes a pretty difference. Add a little more pigment there. And then we'll blend that out. Okay, and then over here, I think we had a little of this blue we were adding in. And we'll take the white, blend that out, the cloud. Just blend it all together. All right, so now I'm going to come in here. I'm going to take the non-photo blue. Get these, see these little spots? I would never, I am so in awe of the people that can wield a paintbrush and get these little tiny spaces, because I know I would be like, as my mom would say, a bull in a china shop trying to pull that off, and it would not be pretty. So I know my limits as an artist, and I'm just going to make them work for me instead of against me, which is why I do stuff like this. And again, don't let the amazing skills of others intimidate you. If anything, try to learn from them. I bet if you reached out to somebody and said, wow, what do you do to control your paintbrush so well? They'd probably be glad to share their techniques with you. I've never seen any artists or can't recall any artists that are super stingy about their technique unless it's something so unique it's kind of proprietary, but as part of their style. But almost all the artists I know would just gladly share their tips to help, because we're all just really just coloring for fun together and just enjoying our art together. Okay, so let's blend this out with the white. I think I did that section already. I'm going to put another cloud down here, maybe going this way. And you can see how in spaces here where I didn't get the aqua all the way up against the illustration art, I think that's okay, but you can always go back and add a little more pigment, or even right up here. You can always add a little bit more pigment and then blend it out again with the white. Okay, blend that in there. Here I want to get that powder blue a little bit more saturated. Add a little white. Okay. Let me take a minute and zoom out. All right, so now you can see how you're getting this. It's hard to see when you're so zoomed in and just looking at little sections, but when you start to look at it and like from a macro view, you can see these clouds back here and how the powder blue really takes on sort of a cloudy effect, and just really layering in and mixing in the other four blues. So I will continue to do that on the rest of the page, and we'll come back and share that when it's done. I finished my page. What do you guys think? One tip that I have for you is that there are some cases, like down here, I can see I've got some vertical pencil strokes, and that's because sometimes in these small spaces, it's real easy for me to color in, you know, up and down for my strokes. You can take your blender pencil and go in the opposite direction and make a small circular motion, and that will help eliminate some of those obvious pencil strokes. Now, if you don't like the aqua and you think the aqua makes the sky look weird, you could just ditch the aqua and continue to use the other two blues along with the powder blue and the white and still get the same effect. As a reminder, this is what your palette could look like, or what your sky could look like with a very bright and vibrant palette against it. So you could see that none of the sky colors are competing. In fact, I pulled those sky colors into the butterflies to make it really blend well. Here is my muted page. A few days have passed since I first started this video, so you can see I've advanced on this page quite a bit. But again, these colors are not competing with the main palette that I'm using on the page. So it's a really flexible palette, and I think you'll like it if you try it. Okay, I'm going to put the 5 colors we used today in the description for you. I cannot guarantee, but I will try to convert them to other pencil brands for you as well. And in the meantime, that's all that I have for today. I hope you guys enjoy this sky tutorial. Please leave me any questions in the comments, and I hope you have a great day. Thank you so much, and I'll see you next time.